So what's up, fam? It is June 28th, 2026, and it's approximately 5:18 a.m. on that eastern side. We flipped the poles. It might be Western, Gregorian calendar. Hear me out. I'm awake. And of course, I got my phone in my hand and I'm scrolling, right? And I come across this video and it's titled, Mr. Beast is what Fred Rogers warned us about. So we're going to tap into this video and find out. And it's coming from at Asa Part or as a part. However you say it. It's right there in the left, up there in the left there. At as a part. We're going to tap into this video, see what it's talking about, see what's going on, and see what we can learn or be entertained from. Let's get into it. Love y'all.
1 month ago, Pen B, a father of an 11-year-old, left this comment. Mr. Beast is a great role model.
Oh, fuck no. My bad, y'all.
Who's always helping the community. Yes, there might be some weird things, but generally, a very good show for kids. Sorry, Pen, but I think I have to disagree with you.
He is the most followed person in the world.
Mr. Beast is the biggest content creator in the world.
You have 466 million subscribers.
Everyone calls him a genius, but even Penn agrees there are some weird things about him.
$150,000. $500,000. $1 million. $5 million of real money.
We watched all his videos, went through every interview, and really tried to get to the bottom of the secret behind his success.
You grab 33 random people anywhere on the planet, and on average, one of them has seen our newest video.
And when we found this document that was leaked a few years ago, everything fell in place. This document explains with scientific precision what Mr. Beast is doing to our kids. And after all this research, I can say with confidence that Mr. Beast's content is not good for kids. On the contrary, I think it's really, really bad. Let me tell you a story.
Nobody told you this. Not your teacher, not your dentist, not even the tooth fairy. But it's true. Once your teeth are gone, everyone says they're gone forever. But guess what? That's not the whole story. Because your teeth are made from a super cool mineral called hydroxyapatite. And if you give your teeth just the right ingredients, you can help them grow back stronger. You can rebuild your teeth. And I'm doing it with gum. Not just any gum. This one's called Larine Remineralizing Gum. And it's not candy. It's more like a toothbrush that fits in your...
19-year-old Jimmy Donaldson sits in his bedroom with the camera pointed at his face. He's about to do something completely insane.
I'm about to count to 100,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 791, 792, 790, 36,000, 570, 36,000.
He doesn't sleep, he barely eats, he's just counting. After 40 hours, he looks like he's about to pass out.
100,000.
Now, this is the type of weird, I ain't gonna say weird, but this is the type of shit that got likes and views and got him close to, what did it say, 466 million? This man literally got on camera and counted to 100,000. And folks was intrigued by someone counting to 100,000. Now, get me wrong, I've never counted to 100,000. So thank you, Mr. Beast, because it took you 4 hours to count, over 4 hours to count to 100,000. But yeah, let's get into this.
The video gets millions of views. People can't believe someone actually did this. Jimmy had been making YouTube videos since he was 13 years old. For 6 years, nothing really worked out. Then he figured something out. It seems like people get completely mesmerized if someone is fully committed to something completely absurd.
What's up, guys? I'm gonna be watching It's Every Day, Bro for 10 hours straight.
Watching the same music video clip for 10 hours straight.
Enjoy watching me watch paint dry.
Literally watching paint dry. Or saying Logan Paul's name 100,000 times.
Logan Paul, 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 Logan Paul.
No way, it sits there for 17 hours, it says my name. Jimmers, but bro, that's 8 hours in, bro. If that's like only 8 hours in, I'm gonna go 15 hours in, let's see what it sounds like.
Not only was Logan Paul impressed, but everyone. Because back then, nobody was really doing these kinds of extreme stunts, like cutting a table in half with only plastic knives. He kept committing to other absurd things, and the channel started growing really fast.
Look at that shit.
When Jimmy got his first brand deal worth $10,000, he immediately gave it away to a homeless person.
It's about $10,000. I'm not joking. You're right.
The video performed really well, so Jimmy reinvested the money he earned into new videos. He started giving money away to everyone.
So I had this idea. If I take this branded money and I give it away in the video, that video will do well. And then I take the money from that video and I give it away in the next video, and that video will do well. I was just like freaking out. I was like, I think...
You see what I'm saying? All of it's for views. All of it's for money. All of it's for views. And I get to play on it, but it's like, damn, bruh. You didn't sincerely do it out of the kindness of your heart. It's just like most religious people that say they're only going to do something to get a blessing. Oh, I'm going to be blessed by God. I'm going to be blessed. No, you're supposed to do it just because, not just to get something in reward. And that's why all these motherfuckers crumbling like they are, allegedly.
I just cracked the code.
He even gave his mother $100,000 to repair her house. By 2020, he was one of the biggest creators on the platform. The level of absurdity and creativity was truly top-notch. And it's impossible not to admire and respect that. But somewhere along the way, Jimmy Donaldson stopped being a kid making videos. He became Mr. Beast. And Mr. Beast is a fully functioning YouTube factory. This is the famous Mr. Beast memo, a document Jimmy created so that everybody on his team would know exactly how to make his videos. But here's the thing, this was only intended for private use, it was never meant to leave the building. But in 2024, it got leaked. So then, the entire internet got to read it. And being a creator myself, of course I read it, and it's an interesting read, because the first thing that struck me is that this isn't a manifesto about creativity or storytelling. What this memo is all about is how to, by all means, capture attention. The first 10 seconds are everything. If you lose them here, they're gone. And by now, all of us know this, right? The first 10 seconds has to be so captivating that people won't just simply click away.
I put 100 people inside of a giant circle, and whoever leaves the circle last wins 500,000.
Thumbnails should be tested at least 20 times before publishing. No wonder I don't have the results Mr. Beast does. He describes testing over 50 different thumbnails, testing which face expressions, which colors, which texts, whatever it takes to make people click. Energy can never dip, not even briefly. Every second must justify itself or it gets cut. No pauses, no breathing room. It's this game of constant escalation of the video.
Now, I can honestly say that I've watched a couple of Mr. Beast's videos. You know, I got a 13-year-old child in here, and he was looking at a couple of Mr. Beast's videos. And then when I got the gist of who Mr. Beast was, I immediately shut that shit down. Like, no, we're not watching no fucking Mr. Beast. We're not doing this. He wanted the Mr. Beastables and all this shit that Mr. Beast was promoting, along with the Prime and all that bullshit. I was like, no, absolutely not. We are not going to contribute to this shit. So let's see what's going on.
Remove all dead air. Silence is failure.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, they're about to fall! Bye-bye! Oh, they're falling!
The memo also has an obsession with what it calls A-players. People who treat every video like it's life or death, who goes to sleep dreaming about retention graphs, click-through rates. Those are the people that Mr. Beast wants on his team. And if you're not an A-player, you can F off.
A-player is equivalent to your A-list celebrities.
Management is instructed to identify bottlenecks, stuff that slows the production down, and of course get rid of them. Because in this system, speed is everything. And although a lot of this feels almost perverse to me, it's inspiring. Because this is the way Mr. Beast has been able to grow his channel to more than 450 million subscribers. It's like 1/20th of the entire world's population. It's insane numbers. And it's probably not a stretch to guess that every fifth young person out there is subscribed to Mr. Beast. And it's hard to disagree that in this new media landscape, Mr. Beast is a genius. But not everyone sees it that way.
I'm a former Mr. Beast employee, and today I am alleging that the company rigged videos and did illegal lotteries and sold fake signatures. I would consider that fraud, okay? Thank you. Enjoy the video.
In 2024, a former employee known as Dogpack404 released a series of videos making serious allegations about Mr. Beast's operation.
Not only were the results of this video completely scripted, but the contestants are not random subscribers. Oh, that contestant had to get out for her job? I guess you forgot she's your hiring manager.
That what the viewers saw on screen was complete fiction. And the worst part, that the content itself is designed to manipulate young viewers through gambling psychology.
He's just become the first casino where the currency you pay with is attention.
Do you think attention is the most valuable currency in the world?
Well, of course. Attention isn't the only thing that is valuable. So is your data. By watching certain videos, browsing online, and using public Wi-Fi, you leave your data all around the internet. And there are criminals who are secretly collecting it. They're called data brokers. They scrape the internet for your information and then sell it to scammers and fraudsters. This way, those scammers can get access to your social media accounts, your email inbox, or even your bank accounts. And that's why I use Incogni. It's a service that monitors your data for you and makes sure it doesn't land in the data broker's hands. And if it does, they contact them on your behalf and legally forces them to delete your information. You can also send them a direct link to a specific website exposing your personal information, and their privacy experts will make sure it's removed. And I know it's easy to disregard this as alarmist, but trust me, this is a very real problem and it's happening to ordinary people just like you and me.
So, as he mentioned already, this is another form of energy and data harvesting, okay? The strongest form of harvesting out there. Energy harvesting, okay? Soul harvesting, energy harvesting. Yeah, let's get into it.
Every single day. In the US alone, 22% of people report being victims of identity theft at least once in their life. That's 1 in 5 people. Similar statistics exist across European countries as well. So if you want to take a small step in the right direction of being more safe online, protect your accounts, protect your money, sign up for Incogni. And if you do that through my link, incogni.com/asapark, you'll get 60% off an annual Incogni plan. And also, as an extra bonus, you'll help support the channel. Now, let's get back to the video.
Now we gotta go help people customize and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Libby, where's the golf cart?
He's just become the first casino where the currency you pay with is attention.
Do you think attention is the most valuable currency in the world?
Well, of course. The problem is that if you watch, if you engage, if you stay loyal, you might win the house. You might get the $1 million.
One random person that buys in West time frame, 10 minutes. We're gonna put this in someone's order that buys something.
And we're gonna have 24 people. We're gonna put them in 24 different circles. $1 million on the line. Have some fun. You know what I'm saying?
It creates this illusion that being a fan is like holding a lottery ticket.
Last one of you to take your hand off this $1 million stack of cash keeps it.
Very few people have dared to publicly criticize Mr. Beast because he's a billionaire who holds an enormous amount of power.
Are you gonna sue Dogpack? I mean, what do you do if someone's just causing harm to your business and like getting it to the point where you might have to potentially fire people because it's costing you so much revenue? It's like, it's not fair to the people in my companies, you know what I mean? It's just sad.
So the story quickly faded and Dogpack disappeared from YouTube altogether. And I guess that's usually what happens if you go up against a machine this size. What I find interesting is that to most people, Jimmy Donaldson is simply a creator who cracked the code, the YouTube code, better than anybody else. But the code he cracked has nothing to do with telling good stories. It has everything to do with one thing. Retention. So why is he so obsessed with it? Why does retention dictate every cut, every thumbnail? And the answer to that question really doesn't have anything to do about Mr. Beast at all. It has everything to do about the system he was born into. Television in the 1960s and 70s ran on a completely different model. Think of it like a city park, controlled, fenced, with only a handful of entrances and clear paths you could walk. Not everyone could set up a stage. Not everyone could grab a microphone and start performing.
Today we're talking about food and fuel. Dinner will be served as soon as the sun comes up.
If you wanted in, someone had to approve you first. Those gatekeepers were the network executives.
I had big money decisions to make at NBC. Should I cancel this show? Should I move this other show?
You've got to try and link the audience emotionally in some other kind of way. They've got to say, what's happening now? Why are the words that this character's saying, why do they contradict in some way?
They made programming decisions based on a few factors: ratings, taste, values, and their own judgment about what television should be. The old TV system had only a few channels and limited time slots, so a show could survive even if it wasn't the highest rated program. If an executive believed it was worth keeping on, it stayed on air. The system had rules, but you also had humans making choices. If television was a city park, well, then YouTube is a wild jungle. No fence, wild, dangerous animals, only the strongest survive. YouTube doesn't have gatekeepers, just an endless jungle where everyone can show up and start screaming into the void.
If you've ever felt like your screams were stuck below talking volume, I've helped thousands of students on their screaming journey.
500 hours of video are uploaded every minute. Infinite content fighting for the same pair of eyes. And that jungle is only one law. Did you stay or did you leave? The data is surgical.
YouTube started rewarding the content that had the highest click-through rates and the highest watch time, and like some kind of combination of that.
YouTube knows exactly which thumbnails made you click, which title you ignored, which second you stopped watching, which part you skipped. If you have the budget, you can test 100 different thumbnails for a single video.
And he tested, does Mr. Beast with an open mouth versus a closed mouth expression work better in his thumbnails? And he found that, in fact, a closed mouth expression worked better.
You can publish a video and watch exactly where the viewers drop off. Then you can go back into the edit, cut that moment out, and test it again.
It's a lot of testing, so we usually edit a video like 5 or 7 times.
You're not making creative decisions anymore. You're running experiments, trimming and optimizing until what's left is statistically impossible to stop watching. And also a lot is faked or staged.
What? It's an actor, an actress, I should say. Oh my God, they're not in the video. And here's the funny thing, not a single comment that I noticed anyway, on a video that has 3.5 million views, I didn't see a single comment saying, where was this person? Because if you deliver someone that's just really interesting, they click it and they get a great video, they're not going to feel cheated.
This isn't filmmaking, it's manufacturing. And nobody ever has pushed this further than Jimmy Donaldson. Which is exactly what the memo is about. If we can get them to watch the first half of the video, there's a very high chance they'll watch to the end. Usually the 6-minute mark, we will include another re-engagement that is highly interesting. Mr. Beast didn't create these rules. He just learned to speak the algorithm's language fluently.
Virality is not accidental. But sometimes it can be, of course, but it's just not. It can be engineered.
And in doing so, he became the most successful creator on the planet. The king of the jungle. But here's the question. If 1 in 10 young people around the world is watching Mr. Beast, his videos have a huge impact on our next generation. And for children whose brains are still developing, do videos optimized purely for attention actually give them anything? That's the real question. And I desperately want to know the answer. But to do that, we have to look at what came before Mr. Beast, before the jungle. We need to go back and figure out who was the king of the city park when television programs were carefully curated and controlled. It turns out that was a man who never tested a thumbnail or checked a retention graph. He didn't care. He cared only about one thing: what his audience was left with after watching him. And 50 years later, people still remember him as the most beloved figure in television history.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor, would you be mine?
We encourage children to make up their own play so that the important time is after the television's turned off. That's when the program has real importance. How well did it prepare them to play?
Fred Rogers wasn't just a television host.
I'll tell you what children need. They need adults who will protect them from the ever-ready molders of their world.
He believed that his mission was to help kids grow up, to understand their emotions, to understand themselves, and be kinder human beings.
You see, I felt that the adults around me were pressuring me to be what I couldn't be yet. Act like a grown-up, I'd hear them say.
From 1968 to 2001, he made 895 episodes of the same slow, gentle show. Back then, there were also other programs chasing ratings and creating spectacle for kids. But Mr. Rogers pursued something else entirely.
I would hope that anybody who sets himself or herself out to produce mass programming for children could have the kind of respect of childhood that I had, because it's not all clowns and balloons.
We had a director that once said to me, you take all of the elements that make good television and do the exact opposite. You have Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
He gave children what they needed, not simply what they would watch. The network executives told him to add more action. They told him kids would never sit still for a man talking calmly into a camera about feelings. But Mr. Rogers didn't care.
And I've worked in the field of child development for 6 years now, trying to understand the inner needs of children.
It's 1969, and the Nixon administration wants to cut funding for PBS. If that happens, Mr. Rogers' show dies along with everything else on public television. So on May 1st of that year, Fred Rogers sat before the Senate. Senator John Pastore is running the hearing. Pastore has a reputation for being tough and impatient. Everyone knows that he's already made up his mind. This is a waste of time, and the host of a children's television show will not convince him otherwise.
Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
What do you do with the mad that you feel when you feel so mad you could bite? When the whole wide world seems oh so wrong, and nothing you do seems very right. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this, and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful. Looks like you just earned the $20 million.
Shop your new mattress your way at Ashley. Browse our wide selection online from the comfort of your home, or come in and see what.
It became one of the most iconic moments in television history. A man who believed in the power of genuine human connection walked into a government hearing and changed minds with a children's song. He wasn't fighting for a show. He was fighting for a philosophy. Fred Rogers understood something the entire industry has since forgotten. Children deserve to be respected. And for 33 years, it worked. Not because it was optimized, but because it was honest. It was true. It was real. Mr. Rogers tackled topics no other children's show would go near. The Kennedy assassination.
What does assassination mean?
Deadly shootings.
There are people in the world who are so sick or so angry that they sometimes hurt other people.
9/11.
Thank you for whatever you do, wherever you are, to bring joy and light to your neighbor and to yourself.
And he did all of this because he cared. He cared about the future of these children. He didn't want to distract them and lie to them. And it dawned on me that, in a harsh way, you could say that Mr. Beast is almost the opposite of everything Mr. Rogers stood for.
I am sitting on $5 million in cash and competing for it. Open again!
Mr. Beast and Mr. Rogers represent two completely different philosophies. This hits close to heart because I recently became a dad myself. And I know who I would want my daughter to grow up with. Mr. Rogers, right? And I think most people would. And not because Mr. Beast is evil, but because I don't think it's good for her. It's a distraction. But then again, would Mr. Rogers even survive in today's media landscape? On the right, you have a typical opening of a Mr. Beast video. On the left, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. From a child's perspective, the contrast is shocking. One grabs you by the throat, the other invites you to sit down. So is it even possible for someone like Fred Rogers to find success in this current system? For one, the first 60 seconds will be flagged as low retention. A man walking and changing his shoes? Boring. The episode where he talks about death or divorce? too slow, too serious. And the puppets looked low budget and amateur. By every measure that dominates children's content today, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood would be a disaster. And that's the biggest tragedy of this story. Mr. Beast didn't just conquer the jungle, he became its blueprint.
Yeah, like we have it down to a science.
Yeah.
Now I know what to do, and it's easy to replicate it. Like figuring it out took forever.
Every creator watched what he built and draw the same conclusion. Thousands of channels now follow the exact same formula, optimizing for the same metrics, chasing the same retention curves. The jungle didn't produce one Mr. Beast. It produced an entire ecosystem built in his image. Because once this model proved it could hold attention better than anything else, it became the standard.
In this video, 200 players, 200 Minecraft players,
And it's impacting the world on a very real level. Could you explain, what have you found? You started this, when did you start studying attention and our attention span? Gloria Mark, a professor at UC Irvine, wanted to objectively measure how long people focus on any screen before switching to something else.
I started studying it, it was actually back in 2003. We started tracking attention in people's real world work environments. Now, back in 2003, we would basically follow people with stopwatches.
The average used to be 2.5 minutes. By 2012, that had dropped to 75 seconds. She continued measuring over the years, and today, the median is only 40 seconds.
Others have replicated this as well. So there's a researcher at, I think it's the University of Zurich, who found the same measure.
But the scariest part is the feedback loop. Content gets faster to halt shrinking attention spans. Attention spans in turn shrink because they're being trained by faster content. Fred Rogers asking a child to sit still for 60 seconds while he changed his shoes. In 2026, that's not just old-fashioned. It's literally impossible. Not because it's necessarily bad, but because 40 seconds is all you get.
I think that children probably watch a lot of television that isn't good for them.
Mr. Rogers built his show on the belief that children deserve respect. That slowness had purpose. But those quiet spaces, those moments where meaning lived, they're invisible to the data. The algorithm can only see whether you stayed or whether you left. It cannot measure whether you grew, whether you learned something about yourself.
I built 2 massive cubes so these 100 kids can compete against these 100 adults. Whichever cube has the most people inside of it after 100 hours splits $500,000.
So is Mr. Beast destroying the next generation?
And then you gotta peep the colors, the red and the blue, the red and the blue pill, the red and the blue pill, red and blue, peep the colors.
I really don't think he is the villain of this story. He didn't invent the game. He just learned how to win better than anyone else. The real problem is the game itself. Algorithms don't have values. They just measure what we choose to watch. They amplify what we reward. There's a reason why many tech executives don't let their own children use the products they build, because they understand at a deep level how this system works. So the question isn't really whether Mr. Beast is good or bad, it's whether the most powerful creator on earth has responsibility for what comes next. After all, the king of the jungle has influence. Mr. Rogers survived for 33 years because millions of people chose to sit with him. And there's nothing stopping us from doing that again. Because, and this is important, attention is the most powerful currency in the world. But it's we, you and I, we decide how and where we spend it.
Some television programs are loud and scary, with people shooting and hitting other people. You know, you can do something about that. When you see scary television, you can turn it off.
Alright, y'all, so that's Asa Park. You can go ahead and check him out. If you would like to see any more of his videos, I'm going to leave the original link to his video in the description box. But yeah, that was the presentation for Mr. Beast is what Fred Rogers warned us about. Alright, y'all, much peace, much light, much love, but especially that darkness because of dark matter. All truths are being revealed. Peace.